Hey there you guys, welcome to today's vlog. So yesterday, which would be the last video that you guys would have technically seen, but yesterday for me, I really started off saying I was going to completely gut my kitchen, reorganize and everything like that. I ended up not having time to do that. I barely had time to even go to the store and find one of those little wired racks for me to put the fruits and stuff that constantly sit on my counter. And I found one. I looked at a few other things while I was there too, but I didn't have enough time to like bounce store to store to see if I could find something to make everything more functional for me. Because a lot of the things in my kitchen I use, so getting rid of a lot of the stuff isn't an option. There will be some other things that I do actually end up getting rid of, but the vast majority of it is in fact here to stay. So today's goal is to actually finish that. I am over all of this mess and I want to get everything in order. So that is my main goal today. So me and the little man got ready and we are about to head out the door to browse around to a few more stores to see if I can get some sort of ideas in regards to what to do about all the clutter on my counter, what I can do in regards to removing it, because there are a lot of things on my counter that I cannot put in cabinets. And in all honesty, I don't want to have to put it in the pantry either, because anything like over here in this corner specifically, I use all that stuff every day, multiple times a day, and I don't want to be running back and forth to the pantry all day long, getting it in and out. So I need to find something to do with that, and I need to just get myself together. So today is the official start of getting myself in order, turning this house into a home and going room by room in order to do that. Stop is Hobby Lobby, because Hobby Lobby is everything decor. You know, it's the place that you have to go first to get inspiration, because they have a ton of things that can actually give you ideas, even if you don't purchase anything from there. Boy, oh boy, did this give me some ideas, because not only am I going to be doing the area that I'm currently focusing on right now, right after that, I do intend on doing little man's room. I'm literally going to be going room by room, trying to figure out what it is I want to do in each and every single room, including my bedroom. There are several updates that I do intend on making to the house as well. One of the biggest ones that I'm primarily focusing on right now is updating all of the wired shelves into wooden shelves. So I intend on ripping up this carpet and replacing it with some hardwood floors, as well as the linoleum and everything that's in the kitchen, laundry room, and pantry that will be updated to whatever it is we decide to do throughout the main living area. Of course, there are some other projects, but we'll talk about all those projects later on when we get closer to the point of actually doing them. But as of right now, we're focused on doing what it is we can. My biggest annoyance as of right now is in fact my kitchen, so I need to focus primarily on that first. Can't run around and do a million different tasks at once, so I'm having to take it one at a time. Otherwise, I will end up neglecting one task for another task and then end up just putting it off until I don't get it done. I don't know if you guys have seen my laundry room, but those shelves have been like that for about a year now. And the entire reason I'm even doing that is because the wired racks sat up way too high, and I was struggling to reach over the washer and the dryer to get to them. So I was like, these need to be lowered down, and in order to do that, I can't continue to use these wired racks. And in case you're wondering, I am 5'6". But that is besides the entire point of this video, this little clip right here. Of course, anytime you go into Hobby Lobby, you have to look at what they have seasonally. Of course, Easter is coming up, and I need ideas for Easter baskets, because I have yet to put little man's Easter basket together or really get anything for it. I bought, I think, maybe 2 things for it so far, and that is it. But they did have a ton of cute things, and I'm hoping maybe next year I'll actually get to decorate for Easter. Because at this point, the only holidays that I really decorate for are going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas, because even my Halloween decorations are just fall decorations. I did find a ton of cute stuff, especially this year for outdoor decorations as well. They had some large bunnies, large eggs, and everything like that you could put outside that were wooden. They were absolutely lovely, and I will definitely be back next year if they have them to get them, because doing things like that brings me joy. I like to be creative and I like to decorate spaces, but I don't ever really do it. And I think a small part of that does in fact have to do with the fact of not having a whole lot of money to be able to do things like that to begin with. Not only that, I do want to stick to a more minimalistic lifestyle. So if I do get some things, it's going to be very minimal of what it is I get. I'm trying to overwhelm and overcrowd myself more than I already am, because I am in the process of trying to declutter my house per se. But there are just some areas in which I can't even do that with. Here you guys go. There they are. And the fact that you can take them apart and lay them flat and have them sitting off in a corner somewhere is great. I also saw these adorable houses. Absolutely love them. If you're someone who keeps your tree up year-round, just know they do in fact have ornaments for your tree for Easter. Now, I am not the type of person who likes to keep my tree up year-round because quite honestly, that tree irritates me. It's messy and I don't like it. It's more for me to clean up and more for me to do, so it gets taken down after the end of January. When I say January, I meant the end of December. It does not stay up throughout January. Although I do think I did take it down a few days late this year. I'm not entirely sure. Either that or it was early. I don't exactly remember. My life is kind of a blur right now, but nonetheless, it did get taken down. I also desperately need some inspiration for what to do on my patio, and I think that chair would be a great fit for it. And not only that, the amount of little chairs that they had for kids was amazing. May not necessarily be necessary, but it is cute. And in all honesty, you probably don't even actually have to use it for little kids. You could probably use it for your animal if you're feeling a little bit bougie, giving your animal a little bit of a luxury lifestyle. But of course, I needed to get back to my main primary focus just to get distracted again. Because when I'm walking through Hobby Lobby, there are so many different ideas going through my head of what it is I could do with all of the things in there. In addition to that, because I don't ever actually just walk around and look at everything they have, I usually just go in there for whatever it is I need and leave. I didn't know that they had a ton of this entertainment stuff, but they do, and they had these tiny little pots too that were absolutely adorable. Just so you know, I will in fact be back to get those. I mean, do I necessarily need them? Not really, but they are an item that I would in fact use, because I practically use everything that I get in my kitchen. No joke, I had multiple different sets of measuring spoons and measuring cups, and I used every single one of them, but I was like, I only really need one set of these, so the rest of them can go. But I'm gonna stop yapping and let you guys enjoy the rest of my walkthrough of Hobby Lobby. bells as well. I dropped little man off here with his dad first because his dad was finally off work. Ate something real quick and then left out, went to Bells, kind of browsed around to see what it is they have because sometimes they do have some good stuff there. And while they did have a lot, they didn't have as much as I'd hoped for. Generally, Bells is going to have like smaller things. So I'm thinking that I am going to go back to maybe TJ Maxx or Hobby Lobby and get something from there, unless on our way out to Birmingham later on today, we decide to stop somewhere over there at Home Goods, or maybe even a Target, see what it is they have. If they have something, may grab it. I did grab a few things from Hobby Lobby. Of course, nothing for the kitchen. I did find something for the kitchen that I do want to get, but I haven't gotten it yet because I'm like, I don't know how it is I would put this in here. Because it's just like another little shelf, and it has not really a drawer, but it has like the door for like a pull down drawer cabinet thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it has one of those. It's relatively small. I'm like, I don't know exactly where it is I would put it, but it would be the perfect place for my husband to take all of his stuff, his keys and his wallet and stuff like that, and stick it in there so it's out of the way and everything like that. I don't know how I would style that though. What I did end up getting, I lied. I did get something for the kitchen, but not something for what it is I need. I got another frother because I had a frother probably about like a year or two ago, and I no joke had it for probably about like a month or two. And I had just got done washing it. I set it down on the towel to allow it to dry. Little man picked it up, spun it around, done this, and bent it. So, yeah, I haven't had one for some time, and I really want to get into making like matchas and stuff like that. And I feel like it would be a lot easier to whisk it all together with one of these. So I ended up grabbing this. I grabbed the green one, of course. And I also grabbed some other shelves. Most of you are probably looking at this and being like, what in the world is that shelf? It is a shelf for books. It is a shelf for books. Which I'm kind of happy about because I wanted some of these like years ago. But I'm not the biggest fan of ordering things online unless I absolutely have to. And this wasn't a necessity. So I was like, I'm not even going to worry about it. But they had some at Hobby Lobby. A lot of the home decor is 50% off right now. So as I was browsing around, I was like trying to get ideas and everything like that of how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to style everything. And I think I have a generalized idea of what it is I'm going to do in the dining room, but I'm not entirely sure until like I figure out exactly what I'm going to get and how I'm going to do it per se. This may mean that I use the shelves that I got from the thrift store in a different area. I'm thinking I may actually go get some of the bigger shelves from Hobby Lobby before all the 50% off goes away, and that probably actually needs to be today. Oh, I don't know. Probably. Because I don't know if the 50% off is going to go on until next week. And tomorrow's Sunday. They'll be closed on Sunday. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the time for all this. I haven't even gotten to actually going through all of my stuff. Some of the things that I do want, I know I'm going to have to order. I would like to have one of those like dividers for like the pans and stuff for the oven. Not only that, I would also like for that to be a drawer. And while I'm not the biggest fan of wired racks, a wired rack is what I'm going to have to opt for that, unless I just reconfigure the drawer myself. And that is a very big possibility. I could do that. Do I necessarily want to do it? No. I'd rather take the easy route because I do have one drawer that is like that, and it's the drawer right next to it, where I do keep several things, and it has a little pull out, and it's been the most convenient thing of my life. But that is all that I've gotten so far. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do about my dinner for tonight. Because the boys can just eat out. I, on the other hand, I can't. I mean, I could order something from Texas Roadhouse. But, I really don't want to. But, I need to get on with the rest of my day. I guess I need to go ahead and see what it is I have, what it is I can prep and take with me, so that way I have something to eat tonight. It's a little bit later. I did end up making some hamburger patties. I got 2 of them. I made 3 of them just to go ahead and have one made for like later on, maybe tomorrow or something like that. Just something quick and easy if I'm, you know, kind of in a rush. A little bit of convenience for me. I did do a vegetable mix. It would be like one of those sheet pan roasted vegetables, but I did it in the air fryer because that was the quickest way. Needless to say, not all of it fit in the air fryer all at once. So I ended up having to do 2 rounds, but that was fun. So my dinner for tonight, and just for the record, and I'll make this with you guys, and this is by far my favorite thing for the like sheet pan vegetables. It is Brussels sprouts, butternut squash, the mixed carrots, like the multicolored carrots, more specifically like the white and the purple ones, or red ones, whatever they call them, because you know a purple cabbage is called a red cabbage. Some like either sweet peppers, bell peppers, and some sweet onion. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a sweet onion, but that's what I like to do. A lot of sweetness going on in this, okay? But it is absolutely delicious. Drizzled with some olive oil, some salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and you're good to go. I'm pretty sure you could add other things, but that's about as much as I do. By far my favorite one that I have done so far, and I've done a few of them, but I haven't gone like really extravagant with it. So I have all that. I also brought myself some bananas. Really, one of them is going to be for little man because I know he's probably going to end up asking or saying somewhere along the lines of I'm hungry within the next 2 hours before Monster Jam starts. But we are headed to Monster Jam. We're headed to Monster Jam. We want to get there a little bit early because this is a relatively like new arena that we're going to. We've never been to it, so we don't know what parking's going to be like. Also, the women's NCAA tournament is also going on, so it's going to be a little bit crowded over there, and we just want to make sure we get a decent parking spot instead of having to walk hours on end just to get to wherever it is we're going. say I was not able to get everything done that I wanted to get done. One, I was crunched on time. We went to Monster Jam, which you guys are gonna see that before you even see this part. Two, I had to make myself something to eat before we went because it started at 5. That's dinner time, and a lot of places don't really accommodate the current diet that I'm doing. If you are new here, I'm doing the paleo diet as of right now. And while the list is rather short, you don't realize how much of all that stuff goes into quite literally everything. So I had to make some food for me to take with me to eat right before we went in, and I didn't see anything I liked. I looked online as well to see if I could find something, but a lot of the things that I'm finding look like they'll be a little bit too bulky. And I don't necessarily like that. I don't want it to take up a whole bunch of space. What I need is for it to be, one, enough room for the coffee pot to sit on top of, and two, for me to be able to store this air fryer. So I would need something roughly about 12 inches, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're gonna run to Home Depot this morning, and if we don't find anything at Home Depot, we're also going to run over to Walmart, see if we can find anything that's like quick and easy build. But other than that, we may end up making something ourselves. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna see what we can find. I've also decided that I don't want it to be uneven in the dining room because that's where it's gonna have to go. So I'm thinking whatever we get, we're gonna get 2 of, so we can put one on one side of the window, one on the other side of the window. And I did go ahead and kind of rearrange our dining room, and I'm gonna show you guys that. So far, this is what we were looking like. Not entirely sure how I feel about it. It's definitely an adjustment because we've had the table the same way quite literally from the moment that we really got that table, but from the moment we moved in with our other table. Did we even have that other table in here? Or did we just go buy this one? I don't. And we didn't put the other one? Okay, yeah. Okay. Not only that, that trash can has been sitting in this same spot right here since we moved in. So that's an adjustment. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I've got to figure out what to do with that mop, even though I didn't want to move it. It's going to have to be moved. But, yeah, so we're going to find something to go over here, find something to go over there. This had to be moved because there wasn't going to be much space if it was the same way, pretty much. It was going to be very crowded over, mainly just on that back wall. People weren't going to be able to get to these seats. Not only that, that seat would always get hit by the door, and just, it was a whole mess. So we're trying to work with something different. We're trying to manage all of it. We did end up going to both Home Depot and Walmart, and we actually ended up opting for those small bookshelves. They're relatively cheap, and we'd like to do this on a budget, so this is what we went with. And I honestly would have purchased more, but unfortunately they only had 2 left, and I want to do 2 on both sides, so we only got 1 set of them, and we're making do with that for right now. I would also like to put a wood board on top of it, do some little like decorative thing, do kind of like the white with the wood tones, whatever. Make it look a little bit aesthetically pleasing. The goal is to turn this house into a home, and we're working on doing that on a budget. I do just want to let you guys know, usually me and my husband don't do stuff like this, like do like little projects together, because we will bicker back and forth. There was a moment we did in fact bicker. Anything that makes my life a little bit easier, I will take advantage of that. But to be completely honest with you, if this would have been a heavier project for us to do, we probably wouldn't be doing it together. It would either just be me doing it or it would be him doing it. But since this was fairly simple and easy and it came with instructions, we decided we would just do it together. And of course, as you can see, little man wanted absolutely no part in it. He just wanted to sit around and play with his new toy that he got from McDonald's. No joke, that was the first time and I don't know how long that we had actually been to McDonald's, because we haven't really been going out to eat a whole lot lately, primarily because of the diet that I'm doing. I guess I need to sit down and do a whole video on why it is I'm making all the adjustments that I'm making, because I have yet to do that. So if that is something you're interested in hearing about, let me know. So far, this is how we're looking. So the plan is to get another piece of wood and actually put it right here and then right here, and I guess we're gonna have to find some little filler to put right there as well. I'm thinking once that happens, once we get the wood board, we'll move that over to like this little center area, and that'll like give a little bit of extra room. I'm not entirely sure, but this is what I have so far. No need to worry, my counters are still very much cluttered. So, it's work in progress. The next thing that I'm gonna work on is figuring out what to do with those. I think I'm just going to order one of those magnet shelves that go in the fridge. This fridge does in fact need to be pushed over. I was going to use this wood board for that, but that is just slightly too short for that, as in like it's not even the same length. And honestly, I think this is supposed to be measured out to be 12, and that's not even fully 12. So that's a bit concerning, but I'll find a piece of wood to get it all situated.